that was
shit.
It's back on.
We're back.
Don't worry. I'm good. I'm closed.
We made it.
Let's see. Apparently, there's a tweet here.
Oh, Ethan. Yeah, Ethan. It is over for 100K on the current Cyberfrog.
Oh, nice. Well, that's a congratulations to Mr. Scans 5. God damn it! Dude, I'm pissed off. You know that.
Yeah.
You know, why do you think I have this on the screen? If only you cared when it actually mattered. You know? Oh, this happened to Martino Marcota, and I know it even happened to
Yeah,
Wayner
I've seen it happen. Yeah, I was there.
Mm-hmm. And the bot's back, thank goodness.
Looky.
Well, with Martina, there's also other people that would be more than happy to try to shut her up.
Yeah. Oh, Ika, I got something to show you after the stream.
Say, I have things to say about that too.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to show our Peregrine stuff, you guys.
Yeah, we want to show some Peregrine, show some, Micah's stuff, but I mean, come on.
I got badass new logos and shit.
Yeah, and I mean,
we're at 3 pre-downvotes. The last one was up to like 15 or something before it. I just think people are taking advantage of the bot cost.
This image just. Yeah, it was a bad idea.
Kind of true about his haircut too. No offense, Richard.
Yeah,
I've told him that before, but I'm like, dear God, man, where do you get your haircut at? Just stick with the high and tight. You're lucky to be 10 years older than me and still have a full head of hair, asshole.
Yeah.
he said he went to he hurried up and went to like a nearby Great Clips right before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the mileage that haircut has gotten, though, thanks to the memes, is that the haircut is more than paid for itself.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Glad. Oh, well, before Swoosh says, glad Mike is still alive. He made it.
Yes.
Made it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely alive.
Through his sabbatical,
And it was nice. It was
That's
very
okay.
nice.
I ended up going to a place that costs more than Supercuts and getting the your boy Zach treatment. So
yeah, she got zacked on
solidarity. I got zacked.
Unintentionally got zacked. Yeah, like he probably went to hair cuttery. I forgot the name. It was like an Easy Cuts. It was some weird. It wasn't like Supercuts, but it was like another
It's another because there's Great Clips and Supercuts, and there's like one more, but they're all basically the same level.
The people right out of Barber College.
Yeah.
Supercuts will do what you tell them to.
True.
Up to 7 downvotes. Say hello to the fucks that are fucking with you. Hey, we're noticed, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm flattered.
But no, I went to Supercuts when I was down in Texas. When I was working security down there, because I forgot my clippers. And I just walked in there and I said, just take a number 2 and buzz the whole fucker. And that's what they did. And it took like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So
8 mad hoes.
Yeah, don't go to anywhere else who gives you suggestions. Just to be like, this is what I want to cut as. Just do it.
The Pipers, when she got hers cut, the girl was like, "Oh, I'm so glad I get to cut your hair." That's when you run away.
Yeah, she was all. I'm so excited because we usually get old ladies in here. We do the same haircut over and over, and yours is so unique. Blah blah blah. Oh, hold on, your bangs are uneven. Let me do this. Oh wait, now they're uneven on this side. Hold on.
And now
you know what? They're still not even. And I'm like, I'm not gonna have many bangs left if you don't stop.
And
they're still not even.
She still didn't. Yeah.
It's not a mullet though. It's a mohawk with. That's what she was excited about. She was like, "Oh, you have a mohawk." But I used to have little curlies, and I shaved those off. Now,
she also requested the elf ears.
I shaved those off because I said, "Don't touch the curlies. I'm keeping those." And as soon as I said it, she would, and then they were just flat sideburns, and I was like, "What? I just said you don't have to touch those." So I had to shave them off.
So, Micah, when we got cut off,
yes,
you were talking about. I'm sure I don't know how much got cut off, but I guess kind of roll from the beginning about Project Lazarus. So.
Yes. So for those who do not know, I have a book that was supposed to be on Indiegogo January of last year, and it obviously did not happen. The plan is for that book to go live, have a 2-month running time, then fulfill the month after, and then go live with Inglewood. Well, obviously, we just went live with Inglewood. So the artist on that book had some personal shit that happened, and he basically told me the whole nine, and I had other people verify it that had worked with him. It's like, yeah, he had some issues. So I'm like, all right. So I don't know if this is a mea culpa or just generally he really wants to work with me again. He sent me, because he's a big logo guy.
Mm-hmm.
Super talented artist, but he's done logos for like everybody. He did the Jawbreakers logo, a bunch of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent me, because I'm going to be putting down an LLC probably within the next 6 months for Sleeveless Comics. It's going to be my own brand for me and the people that work with me.
Perfect.
That's
so perfect. God damn.
Yeah. So he did this logo, and I think I'm going to use the top one of the two, the one in the red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I like the red one better.
Yeah, because this looks a little bit too much like Colossus.
Yeah.
But yeah, needless to say, I think that
nice.
Yeah,
Nice
I think
logo.
it's pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Plus, it gives you some, an LLC gives you some personal protections and
Yeah,
things
exactly.
Like that,
I mean, I've already got the trademarks filed for all of my labels to Vox Day proof it, as I like to call it. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, let's not fuck around,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Batch 450ASX says, "What did YouTube snipe you from the sky now? For now, well, the email that I got, well, I'll just read it because I don't, who cares?
Graded 0.5, you've been a bad boy.
This, and I'm going to say this as this has been coming up a lot from different people. As you may know, our community guidelines describe which content we allow and don't allow on YouTube. Your Graded Point Live, Peregrine updates, and more was flagged for us to review. Upon review, we determined that it violates our guidelines and we removed it from YouTube. Notice, didn't say what guidelines it violated.
Yeah, exactly. That's just like every time I've gotten in trouble on Twitter, they put a blank where they're supposed to put what I violated.
We know this might be disappointing. Yeah. If you think this removal is an error, please appeal using the form below. Guess what I already done? So
false flagged.
I don't think it was a false flag. I mean, I think the bots are out of control. I really do.
Honestly, though, to get to that point, it probably got false flagged. People are taking advantage of the bots automatically.
Yeah.
Taking it down. So I do think it was a false flag to get to that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be.
Because it generally doesn't go, it generally doesn't go to you've been flagged for review. And instead it'll just let me say from people that I know who have also had this similar problem, it also looks like they got flagged by somebody, but it was a bot issue. So one person actually, and I laughed my ass off when he told me that, straight up said that they were pulling scams during their scams. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying somebody flags it under something.
Yeah, Yellow Lantern is saying that it said that you were reported.
Yeah.
That's what they've all said.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's people taking advantage of the bots by false flagging because they still pick something to false flag for.
Yeah.
And then that's why you get that email that says it was flagged for review. And then the bots just automatically decide you lost. That's the bots coming in. Is saying, it violated automatically. That's the bots part. Yeah. But there are all these people hitting dislike. Those people are also flagging and taking advantage of the bots being out of control.
Well, good for them.
So it's a false flag that's getting them.
Well,
and then it's the bots that are saying, Yeah, you totally broke something.
Well, I'm going to put this very clearly to everybody who's trying to false flag these channels. I'm not going anywhere. You're wasting your time. If I have to make 10 damn streams a night, I'll do it. You're not going to beat me. And fuck you for using a global pandemic to do this bullshit in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How much of a bitch you need to false flag a channel? Exactly. I mean, that's the biggest pussy move. You're that scared of people just talking about their comics and stuff.
Well, shit,
Come
you might
on.
as well say it's Preston Poulter doing it then. I don't know anybody who's more scared of other people's opinions than him.
Yep. Oh, mundane Matt.
Fair point.
Or at least we know he does it.
So, I mean, like I said, you want to waste my time? I'll waste your time. I can do this all day. I can do this all night. I ain't got nowhere to go. I'm on a shelter in place. I can just keep on doing it. And if I decide I want to do it, I want to go to bed. I'll give somebody, I'll let somebody else do it.
Yeah.
Just do it all night, baby.
Some people were
All
saying
night.
it was meth one. Do you want me to talk some shit?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Edwin, stop talking about the coronavirus. You don't know what the fuck you're babbling about.
Yeah.
You are not a medical expert. You are a construction worker. Shut the fuck up. Jesus
He's on this
Christ.
chat
You
all
are,
the
you, are
time
the,
lurking.
you are the textbook definition of the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah.
If I was an asshole, I'd put your photo on the Wikipedia page for it. Because it would fit perfectly.
Yep.
You think moronical is a word. Every single piece of advice you have given to Mike S. Miller, look what happens.
Yep.
Nobody wants it.
Has nowhere to go. Didn't stream for the past 2 days. I told you it was for work. We were working on stuff.
It was business. He does lurk in our streams chat, so which I find interesting because I just feel like
Well, once again,
like we're not EVS or any of them like big ones with all the stalkers, so it's kind of just interesting that we're worth bothering.
I had to check on the guy who ate the fish tank cleaner to make sure it wasn't advice that Edwin gave him. I was curious. I'm like, is this guy an Edwin fan? All 5 of them?
Jokes aside, how can you be so dumb that you would you hear chloroquine in a press conference and you look at your fish tank cleaner, it's like,
I should.
You're
ingest
asking this in a world where the comic book hut exists. I want you to think about that for a second.
Damn.
It's true.
Damn.
You're not supposed to talk about that, Peter. You always put up the definition of fair use on screen.
I know that some YouTubers have done that.
I'm allowed to
Before this
comment.
bot thing went nuts, they were doing that.
You just take your fish pills, old man. Otherwise, the boomer will come for you too.
Oh man.
I was, I don't want to get too much into that again, because I sometimes think that, that's how like some of these channels get a strike against them because of that shit. But this one girl, it's probably the one you saw the woman, the person licking the toilet seat.
Oh. God.
Well, they had it. This person interviewed her, right? And she's literally saying, like, I don't care about this virus because it's just killing you old people.
Damn.
Literally.
Goddamn.
That's why I'm glad I'm an op-ed writer. I don't have to go asking those questions. I don't have to talk to people that's stupid.
Let's see. Deadwing Dork put it on the screen. He thought he got false flagged. It was funny.
Deadwing.
You want to know something about Deadwing Dork? And I'm not. Don't worry, I ain't gonna say something bad about him. I've known that fool for like 6 years. He's a cool cat, but it's like I knew him before he was nobody. So I got no. I get what he's saying, dude. I can't believe.
I miss that dork.
I cannot believe that somebody I knew back then, who was almost sometimes scared to leap. He would leap at his own shadow sometimes. Now has a channel with over 150,000 subs.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if he's still thirsty.
That's a good point. He was a thirsty boy.
He's not in my DMs no more.
That's a step up then.
My paper's like, wait a minute.
Wait, I was like, wait, what?
Now wait a minute. Let's see. Shout out to Cincinnati for starting the purge before the ahead of the rest of the world.
Wow.
What? I have a feeling I missed something.
Yeah, I know, right?
'Cause I was playing Doom all week, so
yeah, I don't know, but for everything I know about Cincy, they just went and most of y'all's heavy population areas are in shelter in place now, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So
Well, actually, the whole state is supposed to be now.
the whole state is in shelter in place.
They're on a stay-at-home order.
yeah,
Well,
Illinois is too.
Yeah.
Ours got extended. It was supposed to be up yesterday, and Pritzker's like, nope, we're going to extend it to the 7th. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. Like, are you serious?
Yeah, we're
Ours just started. It's supposed to
ours
be
is
till...
doing it for right now. Ours is doing it county by county. You know, I don't have.
That's what ours was doing for bed.
Yeah, I don't have a legitimate shelter in place, but we did get a voicemail saying the other day saying, hey, limit, go try to limit your travel in towns and things like that. And usually, yeah, I would do that, but apparently, when you need groceries, you just got to keep going.
Yeah. The reason that I'm just pissed about it is like there are 0 confirmed cases of coronavirus in my city. My city's 100,000 people big. 0 confirmed cases. And yet people have, because of the order in place, not necessarily because people are actually getting sick, people they raided the grocery stores and there was no meat for me to buy. Mm-hmm. And I've been very, very upset by that because I was in the mood for chicken all week.
Say, my buddy that lives in Denver, I was talking to him, I think, yesterday, when all of a sudden he got an alert on his phone, like it was an Amber Alert, that Denver is under a shelter in place.
They put it out as a what kind of alert?
You know how when you get an Amber Alert on your phone, it just pops up over whatever you're doing?
Did that freaking noise I can't handle, this fucking...
Mm-hmm. He just all of a sudden like, hey, this just popped up on my phone, and he just sent it to me. Like, this is like an Amber Alert. But it's
you remember what do you call it? You remember when last year they did the test of the presidential alert system?
Yeah.
And they gave warning for weeks that it was coming, right? And then when it went off, I will say it was a very surreal feeling that everybody's phone went off at the exact same time.
Yeah.
If you're in an area, And then people were complaining about it. And I'm like, well, they did say they were going to do it. There was, notifications for weeks and weeks saying it was going to happen. But it was kind of weird, that would happen. Oh, got to. Let me see. Oh, he didn't say it. Yeah, Caleb can imagine more than anybody being a Venezuelan. He kind of lives this. This is his everyday life, So.
I was telling him, my sister, she still lives in Texas, and I guess they were visiting Louisiana. Mm-hmm. And so she messaged me, and she said, "Woo! We got out of Louisiana. We left the state line 45 minutes before they shut it."
Oh wow!
Yeah, they were just visiting, and she was like, it was kind of great because the French Quarter was empty, but all the shops were open, so they didn't have to deal with tourists. Oh. And she said, but we almost got trapped in there. If we took 45 minutes longer to leave, we would have been trapped in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Peter says, at least you can leave the house without having to pay a fine.
That's the other thing with the stay-at-home order here. They said, he said, unless you still have an essential job or you're going to get groceries, you need to stay at home. And then right after, different cops, spokespeople or whatever were popping up and going, we're not pulling people over to ask where the hell they're going. So just don't get caught in big group gatherings like usual. They were like, we're not doing this.
$2 super chat from Hatch 450 SX again. This morning, YT cut all streaming and chat besides CV.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
CV. What's CV?
Coronavirus.
Heineken virus.
Oh, okay.
Heineken.
Heineken. The what is Jeremy from Geeks Gamer call it? The beer bug. Yeah,
It's not a bad one. I like that nickname.
trying to get
Beer bug,
around.
I like
you
that.
know,
I might steal that.
Yeah, the beer bug. I like that. I know
But,
what someone said on chat, and they nuked all the streams. Oh, wow.
And we can
Yeah,
still
what-
run and walk outside. We still go to whatever stores or places that are open and
Just don't
stuff
be in
like
groups.
that. So
Don't be in large groups.
yeah, that was it. So like I still go out to walk the dog and this and that and
Yeah, you can't go to the park though and stuff like that. It's like, man,
yeah, like the parks are closed.
I
and
went
stuff
to
like that,
when I
but-
had to go to Target yesterday to get some supplies. They actually have X's with their registers that are 6 feet apart.
Mhm.
Yeah, I said they're going to make. I mean, honestly, I said they're going to make social distancing a thing. You know, no matter what.
yeah.
So I mean, I can't say that I blame. I mean, in all honesty, I think sometimes, especially during flu season, I think people should do that anyway. You know what I mean? So
I'm
Anyway.
just surprised. Like what I find funny
Mhm.
is that I could still buy a TV, no problem.
right.
You know, it's like even Best Buy is still open though. I found that interesting. I was like,
Yeah. I was
Really?
yeah.
Perfect.
Best Buy was weird. I thought, like, how in the world? I think it's a weird little thing. If they sell any kind of beverage or drink or food,
which they do.
then
Yeah.
they can be considered essential.
Yeah. So pretty much everything that's been open this month is still open this month because everything that was going to close down got shut
Mhm.
down over here. So this big announcement of stay-at-home order, when I read the details, I was like, well, that's pretty much what we've been forced to do anyway, is just not go to the places you closed. Okay.
It's actually kind of hurting Amazon too, oddly enough.
Yeah.
Because they're in this weird spot where they make so much money off shipping off like games and stuff like that, but like if you bought a pre-order for like Final Fantasy VII from them, you're not getting it on the day of release.
Yeah.
And the only people that are guaranteeing that are GameStop for an extra fee, which is bullshit, or Best Buy just because they're Best Buy and they're better than GameStop is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to say the least, it is a bit ridiculous. But I've got some extra cash, so I'm like, I've been wanting a new TV for ages,
Mm-hmm.
and Final Fantasy VII Remake's coming out in a couple weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I can
honestly-
still get it.
And honestly, if you shop around, you can get a really good TV for like under $1,000.
Oh, well, you
Oh,
can get
yeah.
like a 50-inch for like $250 now.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
That's
Yeah.
insane. I love it.
I was like, I ain't complaining. And gas prices, I mean, I know maybe not quote good for the markets, but it's good for me right now.
Oh yeah,
You know,
fill up for $20.
Yeah.
My big ass Impala.
I got because my truck has a 38-gallon tank.
Oh yeah.
So you used to to fill. If I was going to quote fill it up, it would take 2 times to fill because I got I get 10 cent off per gallon with I got a Shell card and I got the rewards card with it too. So total I get 10 cent off per gallon. But it only allows 20 gallons, so I never really quote fill up. Because you're not going to fill up a 38-gallon tank with 20 gallons. It's just math. But this last time I was able to, and they say, oh, you can double it up, no big deal, right? Well, I was like, fine. Well, last time I did it, if I filled it up from empty to full, it would have taken like $75 like 3 weeks ago. Now I can do it for $40. So I'll take it.
Yeah. And FF7 ain't gonna be woke. Come on.
Oh, they're saying that. A lot of people saying that.
No,
you made the
look.
point about the boobies.
Yeah, just because some chick throws on a bra does not mean that the culture war is over. Stop it.
Piper, is that true?
I think
Wait,
part
what?
I think
What about-
part of the issue is also when they released that trailer of Cloud and Drag, and they have that dude from the Honeybee Inn giving his speech.
Mhm.
Oh, dude, that speech is hilarious.
yeah,
It's meant
but-
to be a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now people are like the rise of Trans Cloud, even though Cloud is very vocal that he doesn't want to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's,
no,
he's
in the
obviously
game-
uncomfortable. Look at his face.
The game is sticking true to the game. Just because
Yeah, it's
people
a
are
joke.
trying to read stuff into it that they wish was there doesn't mean the game itself actually changed.
Yeah, some
The
people
game's
just
still the same.
some people want to be mad.
Yeah.
Well,
Some people
Seal
just
looks
want to
like
be
a
mad.
dude
Don't be
in a shirt.
mad.
Yeah.
Life is too short to be mad all the time. Stop it. The culture war is a fucking grift.
But
That's
I
one
know
thing I've
people are
realized over
ticked
the course
off
of the
that
week.
they're paying is $60 just for like a third of the game.
Half apparently, or that's what they've hinted at. It's going to be
Um,
separated into like Midgar, and then Midgar is going to be huge now, and
Yeah.
then everything else.
Yeah.
So
So, hold on. Ultimate Agent 25S, how are you feeling better?
considerably.
Good.
But no, I've had a bunch of shit on my mind this week that I finally got to actually think about. And one conclusion I came to is, yeah, the whole culture war thing, it's a fucking grift. It's bullshit. All of it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of, I was like, when I heard you, like, I think you did a video on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was about
Yeah.
Resident Evil 3. And
Yeah, you
basically
made a-
what I said was, when you look at, I don't even remember what there was a big fuss about. It was like the guy saying it's like, I didn't think it was a good idea at the time for us to stick with Jill's classic costume. It was more just trying to play up, sex appeal. We wanted to be a little bit more practical. Well, that's just an art direction decision. That's not exactly censorship, but that's the way it was being spun by all of the culture warriors.
Yeah.
Also, it's hard to call it censorship when you can get that original costume for that model.
Yeah. And it's an unlockable.
Oh, I
It's
know
not- like,
people
you-
freaked out about Tifa putting a bra on, but I was
Yeah.
like, she flipping around and doing that stuff unless they
that's
want
going to hurt.
right? The boob physics would hurt, and unless they want to do all the boob physics for her flipping around, just put a fucking sports bra on. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, and one thing that I had to tell people, because people were like, oh, then they made her chest smaller too. I'm like, wait for the side profile.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell when you're walking towards somebody unless they're huge. And Jill Valentine has never been that busty. Oddly enough, she turns to the side. There's no downsizing there. Obviously, there's a handful or more. Well, handful for me. But I'm just like, man, this is a grift. This is bullshit.
I mean,
and
it's
the
not
people
to say
try-
that yes, there is like some dumb woke shit going on in certain, in certain, things. I mean, we know that, but sometimes I think that's what I was agreeing with you with was the reaction to it is where the problem comes in.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, just to answer Hatch there. So here's the thing with Jill. Actually, I am of the opinion that her going on a date, given the circumstances post Resident Evil 1, is actually the less plausible than her walking around in jeans and a shirt. Because during the time after the first Resident Evil, up until 2 and 3 happened, she has been her and Redfield have been arguing with the police chief to investigate Umbrella. He's not letting them do it. I don't think she'd be going on dates in that scenario.
It was like 3 weeks after the first Resident Evil that 2 and 3 take place?
Yeah, exactly. So it may, like, both scenarios I could see, but I actually see the idea of her walking around casually when this shit happens to be the more plausible of the two.
Yeah. Did you ever read the novelization of Resident Evil 3?
No.
I have it, and they went into a bunch of backstory shit. Explains why the game starts off with Jill flipping away from an explosion.
Yeah.
And I think they tried to tackle that issue, and they explained that she chose it because it made it easier to move around in, because then her arms weren't restricted by anything or her legs weren't restricted by anything. I could be remembering that wrong. I'd have to go back and I'll reread it because I have it around here somewhere.
Yeah.
But they tried.
Yeah. One thing to add, and Hatch is saying to add in there, the reason that they censored Street Fighter 4 was actually not because of anything else. It was so that Evo could keep their deal with ESPN.
Yeah, and granted, whatever reason, that it is what it is. Still censorship, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, we're not like trying to say it's not censorship. The MC5 was also censored
in one version, and then they removed it.
Yeah, on certain platforms, and then
it was just the PlayStation 3 on Xbox 3, on Xbox One, and on PC. And I have the PC version. No censorship, except for one joke, which was when Lady dropped Trow just to show, hey, I'm not wearing any clothes, and you want me to dig a ditch?
Yeah.
But no, the thing about it for me is like, I think that the standard of woke has been, Hatch, I own the game. I don't need to check again. But the fact of the matter is that the definition of woke continues to change.
Yeah.
You know what? Back when this whole mess started, it was this idea that it was basically interjecting far left political ideas like intersectionality and stuff like that into everything.
Mhm.
Now it's like everything that does not fit somebody's profile, like if there's less of an emphasis on something or a design change, that's wokeness.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't really know, because you look at like what Marvel is doing with the New Warriors is woke.
Yeah.
That is wokeness. Like if you actually follow what woke Twitter says, that is wokeness. Woke Twitter still complains about Tifa. Woke Twitter still complains about Jill Valentine. You know,
Mhm.
they
'Cause
will,
they'll
and
say,
they will continue to do so.
Yeah, until they're in like a burqa, they're going to keep complaining.
Exactly.
You know.
You know, if
Yeah.
a woman has bigger breasts than normal women do, or anything along those lines, they will complain about it. You know,
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is that a lot of people are getting stirred up by other people out there that are basically abusing their anger for clicks. It's a giant grift.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something I've realized about the whole YouTube game is that it's not about entertaining people or anything like that anymore. It's about keeping them mad so they keep clicking. It's not, your show is not must watch because of the right reasons. It's must watch for the wrong reasons. Obviously not this show. This is entertaining.
Yeah.
But, you know, but other shows I see out there, I'm going to pick on the Quartering. Quartering's a perfect example. Culture Warrior, blah. No, you're in this for dollars. We all know that now. You know, and that's the thing. Because the instant that I kind of realized it was when he started picking on Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and started going after Comicsgate. I'm like, now hold on a second here. We're supposed allies in the culture war you care so much about, and yet you're coming after us for a reason, and you're saying that we're not fighting correctly. Well, based on what? What changes have ever been made because of a fucking YouTube video? You know, you're not making a coherent argument. You're just saying these channels aren't growing like they used to.
Now, who'd you say made that argument again? Oh, Porter.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I remember somebody else made that argument during Gamergate.
Yeah.
Well, I think he goes by Jim now.
Yeah.
Medicare, I think is his name.
Yeah. Well, and he's gone into the whole black pill thing, and I've been saying black pill YouTube's a grift for ages.
Yeah.
You know, oh, the world is ending. It's all terrible. The ISIS is going to take over. You know, there is no recovering. The end is nigh. The race war is going to happen. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to my Patreon and like, share, and subscribe. It's a grift.
Yeah.
It's a grift on your misery. And if they can keep you miserable, you will continue to click, click, click so that you can get that positive confirmation in your life. And it's bullshit. And it's the same thing with this culture war, you know, and when actual, you know, things that actually matter to the culture do come up, they're completely and totally fucking ignored. How many of these, you know, ever since I started working for RT, I realized that a lot of the things that are actually going on in our culture that are actually mortifying don't get talked about on YouTube at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was a point in time not too long ago where Pornhub was in big time trouble because footage of women getting raped were being uploaded regularly.
Yeah.
And then there was also another website called, I think it was a Girls Do Porn, where people kept uploading the videos, despite the fact that these women were duped into making porn that they didn't want to do.
Yeah.
People were able to upload it, and Pornhub wasn't doing shit about it. They said that they were, but they weren't.
Right.
I think it was Motherboard did like a big article about it, showing that you could bypass their bots with simple editing tricks. That's horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you could still upload somebody getting raped by like mirroring the image and then uploading it. That's fucking scary.
Yeah.
You know, and like their verification process for their performers is they just take a picture, like on Reddit verification, take a picture with your username, and that's it. There's no age verification. They're not checking your ID. You know, it's like, oh well, yeah, this is clearly you, and I've seen this in your video. Boom, you are now verified. It could be a 15-year-old girl, and they wouldn't know because they don't check.
This is Tracy Lords all over again.
Yeah, it's fucking scary. And how many people on YouTube are talking about that? Zero. Nobody. It's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
and nobody said shit.
Well, you know, it comes down to this, and you know, I'm gonna have to spell this word out because you know, if I say it, that would definitely be a quote flaggable offense with YouTube now. But you cannot talk about P to the E to the D to the O anymore.
Yeah.
You know, because
they're like basically a protected class now.
Speaking of, I saw I think it was in Britain. They said that the first prisoner to die of the beer bug was a convicted felon who was a P to the E to the D to the O. So I say, good job, beer bug.
Yeah, good riddance.
Yeah.
but that's my thing. It's like the horrifying shit that's out there never gets talked about. But Tifa wears a bra. Suddenly the culture war's over.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Let's be honest about something. It's fine if you don't like the design change. That's a whole other kettle of worms.
Yeah.
But
it was minor though.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, she's wearing socks now or thigh highs.
Which a lot of people liked even better.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, guys, come on. Like, it's not like she's wearing the Advent Children outfit where everything was covered.
Yeah.
You know?
She's also got that with that pleated skirt now instead of just a leather mini, so she can kick high more easily. So we get those sweet panty shots.
Bingo.
Right. That was another thing that people were complaining about, and I was like, well, look, you know, back when the graphics were bad, she had a skin tight mini skirt that if she kicked in, the skirt was basically painted on and it looked stupid. And I was like, now that the graphics are better, they need to give her a skirt that is going to work for her moves without, otherwise it's going to look like it's going to look stupid.
Yeah. The time that I will be concerned about it happening in video games is when women start going from pretty to being, if you know what gonk is from anime. Yeah. When women start looking like a gonk drawing, then I'm going to be worried. But you throw on a bra or you throw on some pants, I'm not really that concerned, especially with Jill Valentine, who has worn pants in every single game she's been in except for 3. You know, it's like, come on. But no, it's not really one of those things where, you know, I genuinely think that it's just rage bait. It's just there to keep you angry. It's like there's not really, and I have friends who have done it, and I've told them, it's like, yeah, I think you're overreacting here.
Well, I think the biggest thing, and this is like, you know, it might be a slight gear switch here, and I mentioned it earlier. It's so funny how quickly the people who are wanting to get those rage clicks and, you know, those, you know, that audience for that and stuff like that can turn on a dime and go against everything they just did. Edwin Boyette, for example, and go to total opposite. Just yesterday, and of course, I say this with, you know, a certain person with a gorilla mindset, not the vanilla gorilla, but
of course,
yeah. 13 hours before the, you know, completion of the stimulus package, he was saying Trump is doing a great job. 13 hours later, after the passage of the bill, he goes, I am going to campaign to have every Senate seat turn blue. Because, you know, and I said, well, you know, I chalk it up 2 things: bipolar,
yeah, for
one thing, and 2, you're trying to get outrage.
Oh yeah, and that's generally what it is. You know, and I'm just tired of it. I'm just genuinely just exhausted from it. Yeah, you know, and I kind of realized, like, on my little vacation, of how much time I just spent mad. I'm like mad all the time, and like my anxiety was going up and up and up. I was feeling sick more often. Yeah, and I was just like, man, this is bullshit. You know, and I just thought about it all week. I'm like, you know, I just kept saying to myself, it's like, some of this is just the dumbest shit ever. Yep. You know, like there are things out there in the world that are considerably more important and interesting and
Mhm.
more that will affect the culture more than an extra layer of clothing over some titties.
Yeah.
You know, like it's one of those things for me. It's like it like assigning something huge to it. I don't think is safe to do as of right now.
Mhm.
You know, there's other stuff out there that I'm more worried about the industry starting to listen to Anita Sarkeesian, which
Yeah.
the West did and suffered for it,
Mhm.
than I am like Japan. You know,
Yeah.
Well, I've noticed that the Japanese are starting to notice Tumblr more and more often, and they're getting pissed off with Tumblr style people.
Well,
Like you see those redraws that
They keep drawing their stuff as trolls.
and it's just
Every time you say, I think about that. I think, and I know it was a fake tweet, but you remember that whole that meme was going out. It was like supposed to be from Shigeru Miyamoto, and it says like, I have seen fan art of where it's got Mario having him full mouth kissing with Luigi. Please don't do that.
please do not.
yeah. But no, I think that like things that I think are more concerning. Cancel culture is a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, and that is something that I think is very concerning, and I think that's an issue that is very ingrained in our culture. It doesn't really matter, as we have seen in Comicsgate. It's not a left or right leaning thing.
Yeah.
You know, and the
It's all about how butthurt you are that day.
yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
People these days, man, they just cannot stand somebody else having a different opinion.
I mean, I saw the other day, I don't know, did you see Cecil's new trailer, the ending trailer?
Yes, it was hilarious. And Edwin, I heard Edwin
Immediately.
threw a shit fit.
Immediately try to report it to Indiegogo.
Yeah, that's cancel culture.
Yeah.
And Edwin's a right-wing guy.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. I can't cotton to that. There is no need for it. My belief has always been in the arena of ideas, the best ideas win.
Yes.
And that's why it's an arena. You fight out your ideas in this arena because the best ideas win. If it's a bad idea, or if it's a terrible idea, or if it's a racist idea, or if it's anything like that, it will get shouted down in the arena of ideas.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to work. That doesn't mean you take away their ability to say anything. Never do that.
Yeah.
Because I've always said people will hang themselves with their own ignorance.
Oh, absolutely.
And not.
I mean, you look at what happened to John De La Rose.
Yeah.
Like nobody, like even Doug managed to pull Georgie Porgy away from him.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, I didn't expect that to happen, because I figured George was one of those types who'll take any ally that hates Ethan.
Yeah.
And then he distanced himself from him. I'm like, oh fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Which because John's trying to do a Cyber Toad book, which is an EJ Morges character, so he can't
Yeah, he's
do
trying
it.
to
He
do
doesn't realize
he's
it.
trying to do a Robo Toad, and yeah.
Yeah, not gonna work. But yeah, apparently
he's off his artist, so obviously he has to start from scratch again.
well, he'll probably find another white nationalist to do it, and then he'll make $5.
Yep.
But no, when it comes right down to it, I mean, they're both sides of the argument are kind of silly to me.
Mhm.
It's there's plenty of places out there that if you want to see some titties, you can find them, and I'm not talking porn. One Piece. Which is a book that is basically about pirates and giant tittied women, sells 1 million copies like every month.
Yep.
Well, part of that is
And I know nothing about One Piece except for the fact that it's got pirates and giant tittied women.
the ultimate driving force of One Piece is dreams and ambition. And everyone that tells you can't have your dreams or the things that you want to aspire for, you can tell them to go fuck themselves and go do it yourself anyway, because the only thing holding a limit on what you can achieve is yourself. And I imagine that, considering how Japanese society is, that's got a lot of appeal there.
Well, that and this, I mean,
and of course, huge titties.
Yeah, because
Nope.
Yeah,
some boobies.
That makes Piper look small.
Now, what's really funny is that there should be a huge, disfiguring, ugly-looking scar there where she had a giant hook rammed through her chest in Alabasta.
But this is anime we're talking about.
Of course.
Also, if you try to watch that series now, you're never going to catch up ever.
Oh no,
They
that
got
show
more
is it's huge, and I'm like, I ain't even gonna try. I'm not a big fan of the art style, admittedly, but
I'm a fan of the art style. It's super stylized, but I said that about JoJo, and then finally, after a few years, got talked into watching that too.
JoJo has such memorable protagonists, though.
Yeah, it does.
Well, it's funny. I mentioned this, and a little inside baseball. When we were looking Piper was looking for references for a character in Peregrine, and the person she chose, I said, "Well, that's a good reference." And I noticed the way he was walking. I said, "Is he a real JoJo?" Because he was just like the way he was walking, like the image caught him with like both heels in the air or on the ground, but his feet, his like. Toes were pointed up, and he was walking, had his hands in his pocket and shit. So it looked like, he was.
Both images I found were him walking, and both of them looked like JoJo posing, walking. It's some model dude.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like
it was. Just
but
really
it was
funny
when you said that. I was like, oh shit, yeah.
I was like, why does he look like a JoJo?
There's this meme that I've seen where they had one of those Gap model poster. And that dude managed to set it up so that as he's walking towards the poster, it's the Dio walk.
nice.
You want to? Hey guys, you want to see some? You want to see some internals of Peregrine?
Yes.
Maybe
Okay.
you can show that little time video too of the cover.
Yeah. I'll show that in a second. Let me pull this up. I want to make sure I get the right one. Is this one? No. It's this one.
While you're doing that, I was actually pretty heartened when I heard somebody told me that Ethan's like, yeah, fuck the culture war on a live stream. He's like, I'm just here to sell comics. I'm like,
yes. Yeah.
Like, if you really want to win the culture war, like that's the sort of shit you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fill the blanks.
Yep.
Oh wow.
So yeah, here's her. Of course, here's the mansion. That is also the secret headquarters of the team. As they say.
Talking to Mike.
Something's wrong with your.
We can barely hear you.
Are you underwater?
Hello. How about
There
now?
you go. That's
Yeah.
better.
And it moved away. Sorry, I tilted my head and the mic drifted away. Okay.
Oh,
If you could breathe underwater, where would you go? If you had friends underwater, who would you know?
Where's the mute button? But I wanted to show this one especially because this is a touching moment. She's going to go she's going to go get her suit, her first suit, her practice suit, and just this little note. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. I just think that was a cute little thing for a father to his daughter,
Yeah.
And then of course there's this big old donk.
Necessary
donk. So yeah. So there's one of the internal pages.
That hasn't been shown anywhere else.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's the first look at it.
Yep. Yeah. Just let you guys know. You probably won't see any of these pages in order, and that's to kind of keep the mystique.
Yeah.
Yes.
Micah knows a little bit about that, I'm sure. Because we're going with it's kind of we decided with a concept, and it'll reflect on the campaign. Instead of showing like the first 5 pages, we're going to show the 5 best pages without spoiling anything.
Or just 5 pages that we think will make you want to pay more for the rest of it.
Exactly.
Well, that's what I'm doing with 3 nights. So yeah, it's a wise idea.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely want to show the highlights.
Yeah. What a beautiful Duwang. Oh my goodness.
This JoJo game is top.
I think there's a perspective problem on that house. I mean, it's just because I think it's because it's a zoomed out shot.
I thought that first when I first looked at it, but at the same time, then I actually went through and kind of used my finger. Now, granted, it's against the screen.
You figured out the vanishing point?
Yeah, and I was like, nah, it's fine. So if you have a problem with it, I'm the one that approved it.
Yeah. It's like OMG, a normal relationship with a parent. I mean, normal. There was some friction. Let's put it that way. I mean, it wasn't like it was rebellion.
Well, you'll
child
see
rebellion.
when you read it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, child rebellion. That I'm leaving it to that. Maybe you kept moving it. Yeah, I wasn't trying to. Blame Piper exactly. Always blame Piper.
Show it to Malin. He'll tell you if there is one.
That's true. Mr. Mullen won't see it until probably when we're launched. So by then it'll have some color and stuff like that too. So, what? Not Mullen. What did you call him, Piper? Malin. Yeah.
I just called him Malin.
You called him Malin.
I mean Malin.
Malin.
My brain's dying. He spelled it wrong.
He spelled it.
Yeah, I used to call him
Malin.
Malin.
Yeah. What do you think, John Malin?
Well, golly, I don't know, Ethan.
I mean, that's a good point right there compared to Marvel, though. Lol.
Where everybody's got daddy issues.
Yeah. and the art ain't all that great.
Or
I love
DC with that impossible bathroom.
Yeah, again, they don't make them like they used to.
Yeah.
True. Hey guys, this is CB Cebulski with Marvel Comics. I'm sending out this email to say we're in the middle of a global pandemic. So what I want everybody to do is go out to your favorite Chinese restaurant and frequent it because we need to think about those people and not our own industry.
Believe me, if I could, I would. I don't have the money for it right now. I'm just saying, some of the best chicken wings I've ever had in my life come from that place. And I have no idea if they're pumping them full of heroin or MSG to the brim. They're just that damn good. And I can eat plates of them.
Yeah.
Delicious heroin.
So Micah, how far along is 3 nights, 4 days now?
We're still in the starting stages because Preston had basically 2 campaigns he wanted to get into before we started it. We didn't want to launch 3 nights when Inglewood is still being worked on.
Yeah.
So right now he's got Doc Salem up.
Okay.
And I think he's already at halfway funding, if I recall correctly. And it looks even better than it did before. He got a new colorist on the book and everything like that. So that's looking like it's going to be a great book. With 3 nights, I'm hoping to launch it at it's almost April. Hopefully at the end of April, early May. Yeah. But whenever Dan Fraga is launching Black Flag again, I am not.
Yeah. Not gonna get in between Dan Fraga. Yeah.
No. Then I will get completely dusted, and I know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's sort of like launching against having your video game launch at the same day as like a Call of Duty game.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, not doing it. Not doing it. That's gonna Black Flag is gonna make 6 figures probably within its first week.
Yeah, probably. Because that's this is his first attempt, right?
Well, yeah, this is his first crowdfunding attempt, but he's got everybody helping him. I mean,
and bringing Black Flag back,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's boy. They you talk shit about somebody long enough, and you just kind of pushed them to the. I mean, because Dan Fraga had no problem. He wasn't trying not to have no problem with anybody.
Yeah,
and that's what got me. It's like he was trying to be kind of like not a mediating thing or anything like that. He just I'm not going to badmouth anybody. If Ethan wants me to come on the show, I'm going to go on the show. That's whatever.
Yeah.
And then people started getting on his shit about it. He said, "Well, if that's the case, then I'm Comicsgate." And you know what I mean. It's like every time I hear Black Flag, I think of that crappy Assassin's Creed game.
Nah. But yeah, it was one of those things where I said to myself, there's a general idea out there where if you don't commit to CG, it actually will hurt you, and I think that's true. And I'm glad that Dan committed because I think that's what hurt Aaron Lopresti.
Mm-hmm.
Because Aaron clearly was wanting to do his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly was separating himself from the big two, but he didn't want to commit to CG despite the fact he was on Ethan's show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Jesus. I'm like, I'm not going to force anybody into it, but, not committing, people are going to see that, and they're going to wonder if you're just around for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Exactly. Assassin's Creed Black Flag was a badass game. What was it? Black Flag that came out after
After 3.
After the
three.
engine game, when the
Yeah.
engine game was terrible.
The engine game. The game that I was like thought was going to be really awesome because it went that far back to revolutionary times. I was like, oh, this will be really cool.
Well, I got to kill like the redcoats. I was happy with it.
Yeah. But then it wasn't. I mean, I think it was because where they messed up is they kind of had that beginning part where it was like more like Black Flag ended up being.
Yeah.
And then you went to that and it's like, well, this is kind of
I
a letdown,
Yeah.
I think the thing that put me off of Assassin's Creed with 3 is the fact that we just come off of the Ezio trilogy, which was fantastic. It still is fantastic.
Yeah.
And some parts of Assassin's Creed 3 kind of felt like a step down. Like it became very obvious that the Ezio games were developed alongside this game, not one then the other.
Yeah.
Because some things that were fixed in Ezio were now broken again. And, well, colonial Boston is not a fun place to free run through. It just, the design of the buildings do not enable it at all. And it's kind of crap.
Yeah, it's definitely a Dan launches April 15th. Oh, well, then I'm in the clear because like we're probably not going to launch until like the last week of April.
Right.
But I have a feeling that it will probably be a pretty big campaign. But I've noticed everybody who launched a book last year, they're like doing considerably better than like look at College of the Dead.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure that what did Adams finish at? Like $8,000? He's already over 10.
Yeah.
Like holy
I
shit.
think you're 12 last time I checked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Granted, it also helped that Smiller and Edwin tried to mock him.
Yeah.
Which was very stupid because then Mike's campaign fails.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I have a feeling that we're going to do really well. And we've got, if we hit $25,000 on this, like we're getting a cover by Vinny.
Right.
That's an homage to the movie Prince of Darkness.
Oh,
so yeah, it's going to be pretty badass.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's got some. I think we got some good stuff coming up. I'm still, like April 2nd, still looking like the day. I would really like. It would really be great if the House of Representatives would go ahead and approve that, bill, the stimulus bill, so I can know that there will be money in people's hands at some point. Because that's been kind of my worrying thing. I don't want to delay it, but but at the same time, I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that is the big thing, because people aren't able to work.
Right. So yeah, but I'm keeping my eye. It's like literally like when they say ear to the ground.
Yeah.
Read the tea leaves, see how things are going. We'll and I say cross the bridge when we get to it. Still got got a week left to decide what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So
I will say though, I have a feeling that the Englewood Peregrine crossover cover will be a seller.
I do too, because that especially the cover that was chosen to be the homage cover.
Oh yeah,
that's such a great cover. Has Blade Devil caught Doug? Blade Devil went way past Doug.
He's about $5,000 past Doug now. He's at like 108,000.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Doug is like, Doug stalled out again, and then he picked up a little more, and he stalled out again. Yeah. Ethan on track to body blooded. I went and looked at backer kit, because you got to wait with backer kit. You got to wait a week when big campaigns just to see how they fall.
Yeah.
And if it goes like backer kit saying, they're looking, on the conservative side, they're looking at 900,000 with Wreck Planet.
Oh yeah.
Of course, it's not taking into account what's going on right now. And I saw one of your favorite people, the fan media.
Oh, Moron. No, he's not the
Moron
fan advocacy network. He's the Moron Advocacy Network.
Yeah.
He does not speak for any fans. Nobody likes him.
That was my big thing, man. I said it the other week. I said, you can't be an advocate for fans if you act like that. Yeah. Total Biscuit, I'm sure you remember, Micah. Total Biscuit on Twitter would go hard in the paint on anyone.
Yeah.
But on videos, he would be professional. You know, even if he would review games of people, like people worked on the game he didn't like, but he would still review it fairly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when he was saying like, oh, you know, like I was watching that fan video, oh, this is a grift, that's a grift, this is terrible, blah blah blah. You know, he's ripping people off, and he's like, it's only $4, but it's $200. That doesn't make any sense. You know, I said he literally
didn't know how to even do basic math.
Yeah, he literally said that Ethan said everything that he's going to add to the campaign will be added to the box.
Yes.
So the box was going to increase in value. In the end of the day, the box is going to be the best value, I believe.
Yeah.
You know.
Did I mention to you that I went into the comments of his video and said still waiting on that lawsuit?
Yes. I saw that. Yeah.
Although that's a fair point, but I like Moron Advocacy Network or Fan Advocacy Goofball.
Mm-hmm.
But
I like this one. Moron Advocacy would be man though, and he is no man.
That's very true. But no, he tried to make some excuse for it. He's like, "Oh, you don't have anything." He's like, "I wouldn't want to take from your mother." I'm like, "How are you going to take something from somebody who lives 4 hours away from me?" I'm like, "It's pretty obvious I live in my own place."
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've actually shown people the apartment. I've done a tour.
Yeah.
You know, people know that I live alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you just knew that you didn't have a fucking case, and you shouldn't listen to Edwin Boyette, who shouldn't be giving people legal advice.
Right. Yeah. Like him says, I think my honeycomb box has about 6 books right now, plus other swag. So,
yeah.
And it's going to be added to it too.
Yeah.
So,
but that's just sort of my thing. It's like that dude went fucking nuts.
mm-hmm.
And it's like, you have any idea how bitter you sound? Like the comments let him have it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
I saw a bunch of comments like we're saying I see you finally turned SJW. I see, you know, they went like they were giving him hell. You know,
let's read it.
Okay,
let's have some fun. let me look this up.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy's now he's trying to say that Cyberfrog 2's campaign broke us. What the fuck is this guy talking about?
It broke us.
But yeah, let's have a look at this. So he's sitting at 124 dislikes, 74 likes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine is going to show like at the top. It says still waiting on that lawsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of went in on this guy because it was like, and other people went after me. It's like, he's like called me a ginger, and I'm like, I'm a brunette, you fucking idiot. Like, so clearly you're blind too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how are you going to take the property of someone who doesn't live anywhere close to me? I'm like, I advise you stop taking legal advice from Edwin Boyette. He's as dumb as you, and in this case, 2 heads aren't better than 1.
In fact,
and then another guy is like, people are still waiting on Inglewood. I'm like, and I had gotten into a fight with a guy named Grok Comics, and I ended up apologizing to him because I did fuck up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I apologize to that dude. And I said, Inglewood's it's going to be out late April, early May. I'm like, you'd know that if you check the update section of the Indiegogo.
Yep.
Because I update monthly, like my backers do, the 500 plus that haven't asked for a refund.
Yep.
Because they want a great book.
Mm-hmm.
But the great one is he got on. I don't know if it's like an alt account or something like that. Like people got into a fight in the comics, but some dude said, I know you act like 500 backers is some monumental success and listen to all this. He goes, but not really. If your comic was on the shelves for Comixology, 500 units sold would be abysmal. It's certainly lower than many of the SJW comics, blah, 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 blah. And I said, now keep in mind, these are the people that are promoting guys like Soy George, like Napalm Brothers and all this other stuff. People who didn't make the same money I did. Then who's that one dude who always lies about me? Mytho something or other? Mythoverse? Yeah, like that fucking idiot. Like with the whole universe, nobody gives a shit about. And I said, I'm like, if it's not, so I'm like, if my work is not a success, then everyone you promote that doesn't do as well as I do by your own logic is a failure.
Mm-hmm.
Is that really the hill you want to die on?
Yeah.
Because it's not a smart hill.
Now, I will take his logic. Let me throw that away. You know, his logic. So he used Comixology as his barometer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give them that. Let's say this. Okay, let's say one of their buddies, puts a book on Comixology. Oh, it sold 2,000 copies. Sounds great. You charge $3 on issue. Doesn't sound so great anymore.
No.
We got people in this, in this space, right, that are willing to pay $25 per pop for a book.
Yeah,
and
and they're
sometimes
graphic
more.
novels. They're going to be at least 44 pages.
Yeah, sometimes more. So that logic doesn't fly. Like somebody said, 500 times 20 is 10K.
Yeah.
And even you, I think you said, I think it was John Malin said you undercharged.
Yeah. And I disagree on that. I think that $15. Well, no, I think I undercharged on the director's cut. I think that should have been $20. But I think $10 for the physical wasn't too bad. It was only 36 pages.
Yeah.
But
Mike is no later on with his first campaign than Mike is with his third. I assume they yell about Lone Star 2 every day, right?
Yeah, there's that one, and here's another one. Little Girl Lethal. Where the fuck is that?
Yeah, that's over 2 years late.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to fucking hear it.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is that, these guys, like, and another thing to keep in mind is, like, there's other people out there that are Comicsgate that have successful comics, didn't even get 500 backers.
Yep.
I have a pretty substantial audience right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
That's that. It's like, again, people they promote. Preston Poulter's, I don't even think has sold 500 issues.
No.
On anything yet.
Nope. That was he made a comment the other day. Of course, Preston being Preston, right? He went after he mentioned about his book, White Lily, and he mentioned about all this stuff. And he's like, well, my 4 books have made more money than Wart the Wizard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that I don't think I'd be bragging about that, bro.
It's like, it took you 4?
Yeah.
Well, and there was another thing, like he said to Ethan, he's like, oh, my most recent comic sold 100 issues. And I was on stream with him, I'm like, that's it?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's supposed to be impressive? I've sold 6 times that much on one book.
Mm-hmm.
You tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the Evangelion crew would not tell you congratulations for that.
Yeah. It'd be literally, was it at the Bart Simpson cake? It's like, at least you tried.
Yeah. That's a good way to summarize Preston Poulter's life.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing about this whole silliness. It's like, you have to be careful of the barometer you set.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you set a barometer that $250,000 in a week is not success,
mm-hmm.
everybody that you try to promote as a big name is not a success anymore.
Right.
You can't go on Twitter and start praising Brian Pulido, who wants nothing to do with any of this, probably.
Right.
You can't go and start praising Brian Pulido when Ethan just broke his record.
Yep.
It's like, what the fuck are you even doing?
Yep.
And that's generally where I'm sitting with this sort of thing. It's like, I get it. You're mad at Ethan for whatever reason, and you can be as mad as you want. But when you start arguing with people, you need to know what an argument is. You need to know what logic is. You need to know how to use these sorts of tools. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, you're going to be made into a fucking fool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I guess we should start calling him Fool Advocacy Network.
That'd be a good one. I like that.
Because that is how he acts. He's like, oh, Comicsgate is broken now.
Huh?
No, it isn't. And you can sit there and say it as much as you want. You do not have the power to speak it into existence.
Mm-hmm. Like Wilberforce Rooster just said, I guess Pulido is a failure then. Oh, well,
Yeah.
I'm sure Pulido is really upset.
Yeah. Well, and also by that logic, Duncan Naples a failure.
Yep. Because here's the, I look at it like this. I mean, Ethan said it best, like, especially when we talk about Pulido and people, he said Pulido built an audience of hardcore fans who will buy anything he puts out. Straight up.
Yeah.
Got no problem with that. The man he hustled and he got it. That's a good one. Fucking asshole network.
There you go.
That's a good one. But that's the thing. And 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 it varies. His backer list varies. It might be 500. I'm gonna say 1,000. I'll use 1,000 as a better barometer. It might be 1,000 one campaign. Next main campaign, it might be 1,500. Next one, it might be 1,250. It depends. I mean, you got that idiot talking about like, well, Ethan won't make over 5,500. He won't have over 5,500 backers. I'm like, I'll take that bet.
Yeah. Well, and even then, if he got that just shy of that, is that a failure? Of course not.
What was the big thing is like, if Ethan only makes $500,000, it's a failure. He's like, guys, I remember Ethan saying, guys, I want to fail making $500,000.
Yeah, exactly.
I really want to fail making $500,000.
Yeah. And that's generally something that needs to be emphasized.
Mm-hmm.
Piper, you awake?
Piper, you fell asleep. She fell asleep.
Piper.
I bored the poor girl to death.
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh, you fell asleep.
Piper, you missed it. We got to the point and then moved on.
Oh man.
Well, I guess that means it's time to go because Piper is getting tired. I'm sorry. I didn't even look at the clock. I'm sorry, Piper.
Yeah.
That's gonna get clipped, right?
Is this another form? Is this pooper?
Oh man.
Yeah, pretty pooped.
Pooper. Okay. Guys. Piper with the Y is over.
Yeah.
She finally crashed. Now she's Pooper. Piper involved in the sleep pipe. I like that. That's a good one. All right, guys. Thank y'all. I want to say thank y'all so much for joining us tonight on this streams, because we had to do 2 of them because YouTube is dumb potatoes. And sign up for the mailing list. It's in the description below. Peregrine Wings of the Falcon. And also sign up for 3 nights, 4 days on Indigo. I unfortunately don't have that in the link. I'll add it to it later so people can check it out. But yeah, go check out those mailing lists. Sign up. Get some updates for that stuff and check it out. We're gonna make it nice for you guys. You're gonna enjoy it. Be sure to sign up for these mailing lists. We've got plans for that. It's gonna be very tied to the campaign. But anyway, thank y'all so much for showing up, and we will see you tomorrow night. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. Take care. God bless. Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Frick yeah!
It's not frick, it's just frick.
Wow, Optipop straight up left.
And it's still live.
Yeah, I don't know if he hit the button.
Let's say some bad words that we're not allowed to say.
Uh-oh.
Like newt or
Yeah, you might want to hit click